Well, I understand that you were talking about keeping versus finding true love, which I believe there are different things, right? Um, and I would like to know exactly how to find true love, not just to keep it.
Excellent question, and a very wise one. The truth is, finding the love of your life and keeping the love of your life are two completely different journeys. Let's look at both. 1. Finding the love of your life. Finding love is mostly about preparation, becoming the kind of person who can recognize and attract a true partner. It's about openness, discernment, and readiness. You find love when you've healed enough to love without fear. You know your worth and don't settle for less. You let go of illusions, fairy tales, lust, control. You're aligned in values, purpose, and spirit. In other words, you find love when you're ready to give love selflessly and receive it with humility. 2. Keeping the love of your life. Keeping love, however, is about commitment and cultivation. Even a soulmate connection will fade if it's not nurtured. You keep love when you choose your partner every day, even when it's not easy. You keep growing together, not apart. You communicate honestly and forgive often. You protect the bond from pride, neglect, and resentment. Real love is not something you possess, it's something you practice. So in simple terms, you find love by being ready for it. You keep love by working for it, with tenderness, truth, and loyalty.
I love everything that you said, but I have another question. When you are talking about finding love, do you actually mean to find the right person for you, or you're talking about developing a connection or just finding a connection? Exactly. Can you explain that to me in more details?
That's an insightful distinction, and you're absolutely right to ask it. When we talk about finding the love of your life, it can mean two very different things depending on perspective. 1. Finding the person. This is the external part, meeting someone whose life, values, and energy align with yours. It's the moment of connection, the meeting of two paths that seem destined to cross. But, and here's the key, you can meet many wonderful people and still not find the love of your life, because finding the person is only the beginning. It's the introduction, not the relationship. 2. Making a connection, finding love itself. This is the internal and deeper part, the bond that grows between two souls who are ready to meet each other with honesty and openness. It's when hearts recognize one another and something invisible but real takes root. True finding happens not in the encounter, but in the connection that follows. That's why many people say, I met them long ago, but only later did I find them. Because the discovery is emotional and spiritual, not just physical or circumstantial. In essence, finding the person is about crossing paths. Making a connection is about uniting hearts.
I truly, truly love your insight about this subject. And I would like to know more. For example, I would like to know, what about passing through the invisible barriers of in Ghost? We can think that something is absolutely amazing by the package, but in reality, it won't satisfy the unique thirst of our souls to complement us in who we are. How can I go through that and actually find the person that is right for me if we if I don't even know that person?
You're touching on one of the deepest truths about love. Many people get lost chasing the image of love, the package, the charm, the appearance, and end up entangled with ghosts, projections, or spiritual barriers that disguise themselves as destiny. Let's unpack this step by step. 1. The invisible barriers. These are often inner wounds, fears, or illusions, sometimes inherited, sometimes learned through pain. They make us see love through a fog. We fall for potential instead of reality. We chase validation instead of connection. We confuse chemistry for compatibility. You can't recognize the right person while wearing the emotional filters built from past disappointments or unmet needs. So the first step is inner clarity, healing your perception. 2. The ghosts. The ghosts are not literal spirits but energies, echoes of past relationships, heartbreaks, or even cultural ideals about love. They whisper things like, "You're too much. You'll never find someone like them again. It has to look a certain way." To pass through those ghosts, you must face them with truth, not by fighting, but by acknowledging. "You once had power over my choices, but now I choose peace over fantasy." Only then can you see with spiritual clarity. 3. Beyond the package. The package, beauty, charisma, confidence, success, can blind us to the essence of a person. But love that feeds your soul will not always appear in a shiny wrapping. To find the right one, you must train your discernment, what some call spiritual intuition. It's when you stop asking, "Do they look right?" and start asking, "Do I feel peace in their presence?" Peace is a signature of the right soul. Confusion is the mark of the wrong one. 4. The way around it. You can't hunt the right person. You become visible to them when you're aligned with your true self. Here's how. Know your source. Root yourself in God or the higher truth that defines your worth. Pursue your purpose. The right person often meets you along your path, not outside of it. Discern energy, not words. A person's actions reveal the spirit they carry. Stay patient. Divine timing often waits for both hearts to mature enough to meet in truth. 5. The real finding. The right person is not found. They are revealed when you and they have both shed what's false. When you stop chasing the illusion, the real connection can finally appear. Love is not something you discover by searching. It's something that finds you when your soul is uncovered.